It's time for Tiger Talk, presented by Old Chicago Pizza and Tap Room. Old Chicago, amazing craft beers and food, north of I-70 in Hayes. Old Chicago, share, reconnect, celebrate. Tiger Talk is also brought to you by these premier Tiger sponsors. Golden Belt Bank of Hayes and Ellis, providing the best in-home loans to the Tiger community since 1920. The Hayes Med Orthopedic Institute, part of the University of Kansas Health System, and the official physicians for Fort Hays State University Athletics. The certified public accountants of Adams, Brown, Barron, and Ball. Your trusted advisors providing you with commitment, experience, and integrity. VTI, your John Deere dealer, with locations in Buckland, Great Bend, Greensburg, Hoxie, Ness City, and Pratt. VTI, Valley Hope of Norton. Get help and find hope. The Taco Shop. Dine in, carry out, or delivery. You've never had it so good. Horizon Appliance and Mattress. TVs, appliances, Traeger grills, and Tempur-Pedic bedding. Open 7 days a week at 1501 East 27th in Hayes. And Eagle Communications. Internet, TV, phone. Eagle Communications. Our community connected.
And a good Monday, and welcome into Tiger Talk. Gerard Wellbrock, joined by head football coach Chris Brown. We'll talk some Tiger football with you here today. Recap a nice win for Fort Hays State on Saturday night in front of a great crowd of almost 7,000 at Lewis Field. Tigers beat the Ichabods 30-26 to move, or 30-24 to move to 2-1. Now getting set to hit the road on Saturday night. They'll be in Joplin taking on Missouri Southern. We record Tiger Talk Mondays over the noon hour at Old Chicago. It's the place to watch your favorite football games this fall. And while you're in Old Chicago's, you can join their OC Rewards program. It's free to all new members, and they receive it's free to all, but new members receive an appetizer, free appetizer for up to $10 after the first transaction. It's all at Old Chicago, your pizza and craft beer authority. A big thank you to them once again for hosting Tiger Talk here today. And head coach Chris Brown joins us after being away last week. Your two offensive and defensive coordinators, Jeff Bryant and Cooper Harris, did a great job filling in, but it's good to have you back here today.
Thanks. Yeah, they did a good job. Thought they might need to come back after we won the ball game. So, but no, they did well. I was really proud. I was real proud of the way they handled the situation. And sorry I couldn't be here. Just had another speaking engagement I had to be at, but I'm back. Now you got to deal with me again.
Well, you're a popular guy. I mean, you started winning a little bit. Everybody wants you to speak, but we're glad to have you back. And it's got to feel a bit better on this Monday after what the feeling would have been last week, losing to Missouri Western. I'm going to say it was your best game. It's certainly a solid performance for 4 quarters and a nice win over a pretty good Washburn team Saturday night.
Yeah, well, they are a good football team. They're always coached very well. They're great on special teams. They're big up on the lines, and they got some very skilled receivers, good at quarterback as well. Running backs are good. So it was a good win for us. We played hard and played a little bit more physical than what we have. Still not to my standards yet, but we'll get there as the year goes along. We just got to keep preaching it and telling our kids our expectations, what we want done. So they're handling it pretty good so far. But what are we going to do this week is going to be the main thing.
The Western game really struggled establishing the run and even getting anything going offensively on the ground. And even Jeff Bryant last week told us that probably one of the regrets didn't try to establish the run and stick with it more in that game. But it was obvious that was a concerted effort this week, and ran much better, 71 yards in the first quarter, 130 for the game. But you could just see your backs running harder, hitting the holes. They were much more convicted of that running game on Saturday night.
It was, that's what we talked about all week. Quit bouncing it. Stay inside, trust your linemen, see the gaps open up. And, it's not going to be open right at that time you think it is. You got to be patient, and you got to see it, then you got to hit it. They did a better job this week of being patient. Still not where I wanted yet. Still bouncing a little bit too early, and not getting downhill and getting, running behind the shoulder pads. Those things we're going to work on this week. But, we did have 130-something yards, I think. But I still want to get that to 200 a game. I mean, if we get 200 a game, there's a good chance we're going to win that ball game.
Got Chance Fuller in a little bit, the redshirt freshman, Sunshine. Folks, if you remember the Titans, Sunshine in there. That's what Chance reminds a lot of folks of. But got in, I think, 3 different series, 3 for 6, 3 for 35 yards. Good to see the first taste of the future it looks like at that position.
It is. You just get him on the field, give him some experience. He's got a little different, tempo than Jake does. He moves around a little bit better in the pocket as well. And just to see what the young man can do. He's a good football player. He's headsy. We have to get him ready now, because the future's, it's pretty quick. So he did a good job. Came in and he was 3 of 6, and probably should have been at least 5 for 6. 2 drop passes early that should have been first downs. But he's going to be a good football player for us. He's headsy. He's mobile. Got a good strong arm, and he can get away from pressure. So proud of the way he handled it, and we need to continue doing that with him.
So you're going to try to work him in if the situation warrants throughout the year like that?
Yeah, I think we need to, just to prepare him, and who knows how the season goes. Maybe have different packages for him and Jake, but as of right now, we got to get him ready for next year, because it's if you don't get that game experience, who knows how the kid's going to react on game 1. And I thought he handled it very well this last week.
And for Jacob, obviously you're the starting quarterback. To give up that time, it says something about him, but. Can he get a perspective, maybe sitting out a series, watching it from the sideline, maybe get a different perspective of what the defense is doing? I
think it's just Jake's maturity level, too. He's excited for, a chance to get out there and see him play a little bit and help coach him up as well. And, he's handled it good. And you do see things different, when you're in the headsets listening to the calls and see what we're trying to call as well. And, I think it helps Jake out. But, Jake's handled it well. He understands the role we're trying to do and what we're trying to do with Chance. And, he's supported 100%.
And he played better, but maybe his best all-around game. I know he had the 1 pick late, but seemed like he elevated his game on Saturday night as well.
He did. He played well. He did some good things. He made some nice throws. We tried to establish the run game more than anything and get that established. That way we continue it through the year. And, it takes some of the pressure off of him. When you can get your run game going, you don't have to throw it 60 times a game. That's hard on a quarterback, and when you got pressure in your face, at times, and different coverages that you're not used to seeing, he did a good job. But, he probably wanted to throw it more than what we did. But, we wanted to get that run game going.
I haven't seen many quarterbacks who have said, hey, let's throw the ball less. But Jacob did a good job. Nice win. Tigers knock off the Ichabods on Saturday night, 30-24. Again, a great crowd, almost 7,000 there. That was a blackout, and the student section was great as they've been for so long now. That was a fun atmosphere.
It was. You can't thank them enough for being there. I mean, they really get into it. They have fun. They harass the opponents, and it's good on third downs. When the other team has the ball and they're so loud, and it kind of makes it chaotic for them. But it is great to see them there supporting our guys and having something to watch. And we got to put a product on the field that they want to come back and watch. And the only way to do that is by winning. And but we can't thank them. It was awesome. I appreciate them. And hopefully moving forward we can get more people there and keep packing those stands and make Curtis have to build a new stadium or something at some point. But we'll see. But it's going great. I love it. I can't thank him enough.
It was a lot of fun on Saturday night. We are at Old Chicago. We record Tiger Talk over the noon hour on Mondays. So make your plans to join us next week for lunch or stop by anytime at Old Chicago. Burgers, sandwiches, salads, and distinctive taproom fare. It's Old Chicago Pizza and Taproom. Serious craft brews, seriously good food. We'll take our first break. We'll come back and dissect Saturday night's win over Washburn in a little bit more detail with the coach as we continue here on Tiger Talk on the Tiger Sports Network.
I'm Patty Stoll, broker-owner of Coldwell Banker Executive Realty. We want your dreams to become a reality. Coldwell Banker Executive Realty prides itself in putting you first.
And Mazzara to throw, gets rid of it before he's hit. He's got a man downfield. Hazlett stretches up. Touchdown! Ford Hayes State. Harley Hazlett twisting and spinning at the goal line. He's able to haul it in over Shannon Ross, and the Tigers have taken the lead with 5:47 to go in the first quarter. Yeah, nice touchdown pass from Mazzara to Harley Hazlett, getting the Tigers on the board. They go on and win 30-24 on Saturday night over Washburn. We are at Old Chicago, north of the interstate in Hayes. Welcome into Tiger Talk. Gerard Wellbrock, Coach Chris Brown. That was a nice throw and a great catch from Harley. Shows his athleticism, able to twist and spin, haul that into the goal line. And your first points of the first quarter this year, that was remarkable.
Yeah, it is. We got to do that more often, guys, just making plays, and making your quarterback's job a little bit easier. I mean, that's a throw that defenders inside, Jake's got to throw it outside and go make a play on the ball. And there's a number of opportunities we've had, through the season so far where, we didn't just go make a play. And it was good to see Harley do that. And we expect it out of Harley, we expect it out of Beaverly, we expect it out of every one of our receivers when the ball's in the air. It's our ball, and we need to go get it no matter where it's at. And, that's something we've been really stressing. But it was good to get some points in that first quarter and still didn't score as many points as we need to, but it was good for us to start fast
and play with the lead. I mean, that's something you did a little bit at Western. At least we're tied, but you've been playing from behind most of the season. That's tough to do. Just a mental grind and wear on a player to get a lead mentally. That's got to be big.
It does. It just gives you a chance to kind of not really relax, but at least you can breathe a little bit. You don't feel like you're being smothered. Every second of every down and. We needed that. Hopefully this continues, as we start moving forward and our kids really buy into what we're doing and keep practicing. They practiced pretty well last week, but they got to practice even harder this week to improve their game. And it'll take time, but we got to get some leads, and that's just all there is to it.
A couple of nice runs on that drive, which was a 9-play, 75-yard drive. Charles Tigner runs of 18 and 13, ran really hard, and was something about Washburn. He ran for 117 against them a year ago, his career high. He had 98 on Saturday night. He likes the Ichabods.
Yeah, when he's confident, I guess he's pretty confident against the Ichabods. But he needs to run like that all the time. I got 3 guys I'm rolling in there right now with him and Truss and Hickman, and I'm still trying to find out who the guy is that wants to carry the ball 20, 30 times a game. And those guys need to figure it out. Your friends off the field, but when it's time to practice and get on the field, we got to compete, and somebody's got to step up and take that job. And something we always kind of talk about in the office, there's Batman and there's Robin. I got a lot of Robins right now, and I need a Batman, and who's going to be that guy? So we're still trying to figure that out, and hopefully this week we know who that guy is going to be that's going to carry the rock, for us most of the time.
Well, Tigner had 20 carries, 98 yards, certainly had a good game. Your defense forces a 3-and-out on Washburn's next possession. You have to punt, and then really the first big break, you get a muff. And Dante, who struggled against Missouri Western, no doubt about that, had a much better night Saturday night, and that low muff sometimes hard to field, and it turned out to be a big break for you guys in that first quarter.
It was, and another low kick. It made me nervous when I saw it come off his foot. Thought I was going to hit somebody else in the head again, and who knows what happens. But, it worked out for us. But, again, I think we just kicked a field goal off of that as well, didn't we? And, we got to score a touchdown in that situation. But, we'll take the points from Dante in there. But, he's doing well. He hurt his ankle that week in practice too, so he wasn't able to kick a lot. And he came back from that little injury and did well for us.
I see that drive. You got the touchdown. DJ Hickman on a 4-yard touchdown run. His first rushing touchdown first rushing touchdown for you guys all year to put you up 14-3. So nice job taking advantage. I think you scored 14 points off of turnovers in this game. Always key, and you guys are right on it.
They are. Anytime you get turnovers, you create a turnover, you got to score touchdowns. Field goals are okay, but I don't want the touchdowns off those things because it really changes the momentum of the game, and puts it on your side. And DJ did a good job of, in that series of getting downhill and running. He's got a little burst to him, and he's got some quickness and pretty shifty. And he hit the holes pretty hard, this game. And he got into his end zone and scored his first touchdown as a Tiger. And always got to congratulate him on those ones.
They score on a crazy possession the next time they get the ball. You nearly had Blake Peterson sacked. He breaks out and scrambles 42 yards. I think they had a 4th down conversion in there. And then you had him 3rd and 17 from the 20, and they were able to find the end zone. So a couple of breakdowns allowed them to get right back in the game on the next possession.
It is. It's all big plays. We eliminate those big plays. We get the ball back, but, we went in for the sack. Quarterback's getting ready to throw the ball, and we just try to knock it down instead of just actually tackling the quarterback, and he breaks away and scrambles. And then, then we get beat on a pass play, we slip, fall down, and, just go make the play. And we expect our guys to make plays all the time, and, maybe we stress them too much. I don't know, but that's just how we are. We expect our guys to do things right and make the plays when they're called, and, we got to make that play so we can't score.
You do answer, though. It's, they're right back in the game, but you come back with a 9-play, 55-yard drive. Actually kicked a 43-yard field goal. Dante nailed it, but they rough him. So you take the points off the board, continue the drive, and eventually are able to find a way to get some more points on it. Tigner with a big 13-yard run and score and make it a 20-10 game.
It is. We found ways to score this week, and we still got to score more touchdowns and take advantage of every opportunity that we're given. And Tigner did ran hard. He ran hard in this game. He did. He's got downhill and ran physical and drove his legs. And in that one, he reached across the goal line. That makes me really nervous when they do that. Please keep both hands on the ball and get across or bury your head and get through it. But he scored, and I think he already scored. Then he reached it out, which is. Just don't do that. Makes me nervous. That makes me way too nervous when they do those things. You see it happen all the time. Guys get knocked out, and now it's a turnover.
And he's a strong kid. I mean, you see his thighs. I mean, he's got huge legs, and could be a very powerful runner. And hopefully, this is one of those games that kind of gets that mind frame going, because he's got the body type to be a bruising runner, and then get him in that second level, make one man miss, and he can be tough to bring down.
Yeah, he is. He's hard. I mean, just his shiftiness, and he just needs to learn how to trust it a little bit more, when he's running through that middle and seeing the hole and bursting. Sometimes he sees the hole, but it's just he's not quite sure. He just needs to be sure and trust it. And if it's it's not there, I tell him, bury your head, get 3 or 4 yards. That's all that matters to me. If we get 3 yards and then 4 yards on this one and 3 yards on that one, it's a first down. So keep burying your head, keep being physical, and eventually those linebackers will get tired of tackling you, and before you know, you're breaking off a 60-yard touchdown.
Led 20-10, they get another chance, and Connor Shadid gets a big interception to keep them off the board right before halftime, knowing you're going to get the ball to start the third quarter.
Yeah, it was. It was huge, and that was a big play by him. I mean, he came across, and him and the receiver kind of collided a little bit, but he came down with it to not allow them to score before half. But going at halftime, I was still nervous just because I think that's almost the exact same score last year going at halftime, but we had the lead this time, and then last year we came back and beat them, but we held on to it. Tried to give it away there at the end, but we came out the dub.
Yeah, if he doesn't collide, he maybe has a nice return, sets you up for a chance for more points. But Tigers went in the locker room leading Washburn 20-10 on Saturday. Tiger Talk recorded at Old Chicago Pizza and Tap Room. We'll do it over the noon hour on Monday, so we invite you to come on out next week for the program. Old Chicago, your craft beer authority. 30 rotating draft beers. You can stop by today north of the interstate at Old Chicago Pizza and Tap Room. We'll take another break and be back with more on Tiger Talk right here on the Tiger Sports Network.
Ready to discover something new? The next time you're in your car, tune your radio to 94.3 FM.
It's here.
It's Hayes' greatest hits.
Love it.
On 1400 KAYS and 94.3 FM.
94.3 FM, KAYS. Go ahead, check us out.
With Dante Brown will punt from inside the 10-yard line. The rugby-style line drive low. It bounces at the 45. Picked up and then dropped by Ichabod. The ball is loose. A big scramble to the 33-yard line. Tiger football! Fort Hays State recovers it. Hayden Kreitzer. 43 yards on the punt, and Kreitzer recovers the muff. And Fort Hays State will have it in Washburn territory with 3:15 to go. Yeah, indeed, that was that fumble recovery on the muff punt, set up the Tigers' second touchdown. They went up 14-3. Tigers 14 points off of turnovers in that ball game, and that's always been a big MO for your defense. Force turnovers, score points off of turnovers, and you've done that a little bit this year, but that was probably the best game so far was Saturday night, and hopefully a trend that continues for you guys.
Yeah, it needs to. Our defense has done a good job of getting us turnovers, getting the ball back to our offense, and now our offense just needs to learn how to capitalize on it. And we did in this ball game. Now we got to continue to do that. Week in and week out. We got to be consistently getting points off turnovers and making things happen. Hopefully we can score on defense as well. Our guys are very capable of doing that. And there were some nice plays, by our defense in this game. They did a really good job of containing the quarterback at times and hitting guys in the mouth and creating turnovers. And special teams did the same thing. I thought we did really, really well in special teams this week.
Well, especially after last week, because it was, a disaster might be a little extreme, but it was not good. And really one of the first times in I can remember a long, long time where there's been that many breakdowns, but they shored that up nicely Saturday night. That was a key factor in the game.
Yeah, they did. We had one long, kickoff return, that hurt us a little bit, but yeah, the week before it was bad, but Coach did a great job of preparing those guys this week. We really emphasized, it's all about effort on special teams, effort and hustle and playing physical. If you can do those things, you're going to be great on special teams. Our guys really honed in on that this week, took pride in it, and special teams is about pride. How bad, and that's really what it is. And our guys did that and did very well this week.
Got the ball to start the third quarter, put together a nice 9-play, 50-yard drive. It resulted in a field goal. I know you always see more than that in the touchdown, as you said earlier, but you got points on the opening possession of the quarter and pushed that lead up to 13 at 23-10.
It is. We need to get it. I want to score every time on the first drive, especially first drive of a half or at the game. Just to kind of set the tone and get things going, and that gave us some more momentum. Gave our guys some more excitement, and let our defense pin theirs back a little bit more and get after, after Washburn. But points are points. We'll take them when we can, but I still will have 7-3 any day.
Jacoby Williams had a nice 21-yard catch on that drive and converted quarterback. He was the backup a year ago, and now he's a tight end, and he doesn't have that quarterback body anymore. He's put on a little bit of weight, and obviously he had a big game, had a touchdown catch in the contest, but looking more and more comfortable making that transition from quarterback to tight end.
It is, and it's a hard transition. When you're used to being in practice and not getting hit and not have to block anybody and not catching balls. He's done a good job of making the transition to tight end, and had some great catches. A touchdown was awesome by him as well. He went up and got it. I mean, he had 2 nice catches he had to go up and get. But, we've been waiting on that to see that happen, and, he finally figured it out, and he had one heck of a game.
I know you said it from day one when you signed him that he's a great athlete, and if quarterback works out, great. If not, we'll find a way to get him on the field, and you're starting to see why.
Yeah, he is. He's a big kid, strong kid too, and, he runs pretty well. I think that might have been the fastest I've seen him run all year long or on those 2 pass plays, but – he's still trying to figure it out, but I think once it really clicks, he's going to be, a really good force, and he's going to make some things happen.
You put him with Matt Wendelberger, and obviously we know what he can do, and we keep seeing Hunter Budke improve week in and week out for a redshirt freshman. That's a pretty good group at tight end.
And that is. It's a real good group. Who knows? We could put all 3 of those guys in the game and be able to really pound the ball on some guys. But, those guys have done well. They coach each other up. They help each other out. Jacoby's so good at it because, playing quarterback, he knows where he wants the tight ends to be when he's playing quarterback. So it really helps him in his game as well. But I think he's having the most trouble with is just the blocking part of it. But that comes with time. When you've never blocked in your entire life and learned how to get off the ball, it doesn't happen overnight. And, but he's improving each week on that.
Well, he had certainly a big role in the ball game. That field goal was the only points of the third quarter. Tigers had a 23-10 lead over Washburn. Fourth quarter got a little interesting, a little wild. We'll recap it when we return. Tiger Talk, again, recorded live at Old Chicago on Mondays during the noon hour. So make your plans to join us next week for lunch, and you can try one of their great pizzas with dough made fresh daily. It's Old Chicago Pizza and Tap Room north of the interstate in Hayes. We will take another time out, be back with more right here on Tiger Talk along the Tiger Sports Network. Hi, everyone. This is Gerard Wellbrock inviting you to join us for Tiger Talk. We record it over the noon hours Mondays at Old Chicago, north of the interstate in Hayes, and play it back at 6 o'clock Monday nights on Tiger Radio Mix 103. You can also catch it on Eagle TV's channel 14 and 614, Tuesday and Wednesdays at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m., and always on HaysPost.com. So join us for Tiger Talk over the noon hour Mondays at Old Chicago. Jacoby Williams is in. He's a tight end right side. Wendelberger left side. Handoff. Hickman blast to the goal line. Touchdown, Fort Hays State. A 4-yard run from D.J. Hickman. That's his first career touchdown in black and gold. It's 13-3 Tigers with a minute 19 to go in the first. Now back in the first quarter, D.J. Hickman getting his first touchdown at Fort Hays State. Tigers would lead 14-3, had a 23-10 lead going into the fourth quarter, which we'll talk about here in just a little bit. We are at Old Chicago Pizza and Tap Room just north of the interstate for Tiger Talk. Make your plans to join us over the lunch hour next Monday for the program. And You got a sack of Peterson on fourth down in that fourth quarter. Wyatt Parker forcing a fumble. Sheldon Schmidt recovered it. Looked like you're about ready to put that ball game away, and that was a big play. And that time you made sure that Peterson was not going to escape and get a big scramble, and ended up knocking him out of the game. He got hurt on that play, but good work there by the defense to get the sack, get the fumble, and get the ball right back.
It was, our D-line played extremely well this game. Really got off the ball, got some pressure on the quarterback, got some sacks, got some turnovers. They had a fumble recovery, they had an interception. That's one heck of a day for a defensive line. But they did their job that they were supposed to, and hopefully they continue to do that and get the ball back to our offense. But I was proud of the way our defense played.
Yeah, Wyatt Parker, I think he had 3 tackles for loss. He had the sack. He forced a fumble. He had an interception later in that fourth quarter, which for a D lineman doesn't come very often. He had a big game, and he's kind of one of those quiet guys. Just does a lot of stuff. Doesn't always maybe have the stats to show for it, but he had a pretty good stat line on Saturday night.
He did. He had a great one. He gets off the ball hard. He's physical. He's aggressive. Plays relentless, and I just like the way he plays the game. He plays with a chip on his shoulder, and he's ready to get after you. He just pins his ears back, and he's trying to put you on your tail now. That's the way Wyatt plays, and he's just made some great plays in that game. That interception was. Not many people see that as a defensive lineman. The ball gets tipped and you get it, and then causes the fumble as well. But no, he had a great game, and I was proud of him.
Well, he forced the fumble there. Sheldon recovers it, and you come back and score. And it was a 17-yard pass to Jacoby, and he made another. You see the replay. That was not an easy catch, but he went up and got it, and it puts you up 30-10 with 8:45 to go.
It is, and now that's someone we really got to start doing things, and taking care of the ball and not giving up any big plays, because they got to have some big plays to score, and but we kind of let it get away from us a little bit. We didn't finish the game. We played well for 3 quarters, but now in the fourth quarter we got to learn how to finish and to put teams away. So it's baby steps right now, with this team for some reason, and we just got to figure it out and get things done.
But you got the lead and had to feel pretty good about things the way they were. And looking at the senior class, it's really the first group that has had success from day one. You look at all the other teams you've had, you were trying to climb. Yeah, you had good seasons, but you're still trying to climb the ladder and make your mark in the MIAA, be a consistent upper-tier team. Even their redshirt year, I think you went 7-4, and then 2 8-win seasons. Last year you won 11. They're really the first group that from day one has tasted success. I'm not saying they're complacent and all that, but it's a different feel with these guys, because they maybe haven't had that chip on the shoulder some of the other classes had, because the teams just weren't as good, quite frankly.
Yeah, this group's won ball games, and they're so used to winning, and sometimes I just think you think you're going to step on the field and win the ball game, instead of you still got to put the work in. And where we're at right now in our program, we got to work even harder, because people are gunning for us. They want to take us down, so it takes a commitment on their part. But these guys have. They haven't had the 4-7 season, the 5-6, and getting beat 70-14 by Northwest Missouri. They haven't had experienced any of that stuff. So, once you experience it, you learn how to those guys had to battle and win ball games, and these guys really haven't had to do that too much. So, hopefully, we're starting to figure it out. I think they are. They practiced a lot better last week. They really came in focused, locked in. But hopefully, that loss against Mo West, fixed any problems that we had, but we still got to get better in practice.
We always talk about a learning process when you're learning to win, whether it's trying to get to a winning season, which you accomplished, and now, getting to that next level, that next step, you accomplished that a year ago. Now it's how do you play at that level when teams are gunning for it? And I guess this is a new experience for a lot of people. So, as you said, it is kind of a learning process.
It is. You got to make sure you're doing everything right. Sometimes guys get complacent when they're used to winning so much, and they just kind of go through the motions. Where you still got to figure out all the little things, your techniques, your fundamentals, the tempo you practice at, and making the plays in practice. Not saying, I'll probably make that play in the game. No, it starts in practice, and we'll get it. Our guys will get it figured out. We hit them hard last week, and we're going to hit them probably even harder this week. But they'll figure it out. We got that's our jobs as coaches to motivate them and get them ready. And hopefully we can do that this week.
You had the lead. Washburn puts together a scoring drive, 7 plays, 66 yards. It's 30-17, 6.5 to go. And then probably the one thing you didn't want was the turnover. You were aggressive trying to get a first down and run that clock out, and unfortunately Jacob misfired on one, and their guy made a great play. Tillman, who's had a phenomenal year, and couldn't track him down, and all of a sudden it's really nervous inside Lewis Field.
There's 2 things you can do: run the ball, punt it, and see, and give him a chance to have the ball probably twice or just once, or let's go get the first down and end this ball game. And that's what we try to do. But that was one heck of a play by that guy. I mean, he had to get a pretty good vertical to even touch that ball, and he tipped it up and went right in his hands. And our pursuit wasn't real good. Our guys just kind of looked like they were in shock that it even happened. And but the guy scored, and then we got the penalty on the onside. They gave the ball back to us as well. So we had some luck on our side again, and the good Lord took care of us again.
A little nerve-wracking on the onside kick. I think Matt Wendelberger got his hands on it, couldn't secure it, but there was a penalty on them, and then it went out of bounds either way. So it all worked out in the end, but maybe a little bit more nervous, a few more gray hairs for the coaching staff than you'd prefer.
It is, and we just want to try to keep people in the stands as well. We just try to keep it exciting and make them wonder if we're going to win this game or not. So we've got to quit doing it. We've got to start finishing games, and then that's something that we're really stressed again this week.
But the Tigers do get the victory, 30-24, and move to 2-1 on the season. Now get set to hit the road once again this Saturday night in Joplin, Missouri, against Missouri Southern. Tiger Talk brought to you by Old Chicago Pizza and Tap Room, home of the World Beer Tour. They have 110 beers from around the world. You can ask for details the next time you're in here at Old Chicago and begin your World Beer Tour at Old Chicago, your pizza and craft beer authority. We'll take our final break and preview Saturday night's matchup with Missouri Southern when we continue here on the Tiger Sports Network.
As you plan for your business in 2018, advertising should be an important part of your growth strategy. Digital marketing puts your business in front of the right customers online. Advertising with the Hays Post ensures your message will be viewed 1.5 million times a month, including 375,000 unique views a week. Are you ready to grow your business? Advertise with us today. It's affordable and it works. Call us today at 785-628-0467. Eagle Communications, our community connected.
Back to pass is Peterson. He's going across the middle. It's intercepted by Connor Shadid. He then landed on a knee as he ran into Keelan Kennedy, or he may have been able to return it, but Connor Shadid picks off the Tigers' second pass of the year, and the Tigers stop the drive. They'll have it at their own 36-yard line. As Connor Shadid gets his second career interception. Yes, indeed. That was the play right before the end of the first half, and the Tigers go on to win it 30-24. Couple of fumble recoveries, couple of interceptions, 4 takeaways in that football game, and they scored 14 points off them. And now getting set to hit the road as they travel to Joplin, Missouri. Saturday night football against the Missouri Southern Lions. And in some regards, I mean, obviously this was a challenging week last week. You had a good opponent in Washburn coming off a difficult loss, which you just didn't play very well, and you always have question marks, wonder how your team's going to respond. I would think this week in some ways maybe worse, because at least last week it was Washburn. You knew if you didn't play well, you're going to get it handed to you because they're a good football team, always have. But now you face Southern. They have obviously struggled. Denver Johnson's trying to figure things out. They're trying to find their identity. They're trying to build back. It's been a tough go. And I mean, your players are smart. They understand where Southern is in the standings, and can't fall into that trap of, hey, you show up, you win the game. They still have good football players, and if you do that, you're going to be in for a dogfight.
Yeah, we are. They do some good things, offensively and defensively. They got skill guys on both sides of the ball. They got some great offensive and defensive linemen, and we got to get ourselves ready to play. The last week's over. We're talking right now. Now it's going to be it's an 8-game season. Now we need to go 1-0 again. This week, and we're going to put them to the grind. We're going to make sure our kids are ready and prepared, and we're not going to let them slack and take things lightly. So this is a good football team. We're getting ready to go play. They're going to be hungry for a win. They're going to do everything to get a win. So we got to be smart, take care of ourselves, and make sure that we prepare and get ourselves ready to play. In a dogfight, because it might come down to that.
And the streak's going to end sometime, and obviously you don't want it to be against you and on your watch. What about this line team? It just seems like they're trying to find their identity. I imagine makes it really difficult to prepare, not knowing exactly what you're going to see.
It is. They've struggled a little bit. They've had a lot of coaching changes. I mean, in spring I think they had a new set of coaches, and then now the fall came around and there's another new set of coordinators. So, that's hard on kids, and trusting in the coaches, and it just takes time to build that trust with those kids. And this might be the week that those kids start trusting in what the coaches are telling them to do, and getting them coached up and start playing really, really well. And I think they're just still trying to figure out what they're doing offensively and defensively, and the kids are still trying to figure it out. And then all of a sudden it just clicks. And when things click and kids understand exactly where they're supposed to be, good things happen. So hopefully that's not this week. But, I think it's just a group of kids that are still trying to figure out, exactly what their assignments are. And because you can see them a little lost on film a little bit. But once they figure it out, I mean, they got great schemes. I mean, it's just the kids making the plays.
And it's Saturday night in Joplin, and that's for whatever reason. It just seems like sometimes weird things just happen down there. I don't know, hard to explain, but it's a unique place to play, and it's a Saturday night game. It's one of the further road trips this year. I mean, there's a lot of challenges going into this one for you guys.
It is, and there's no easy way to get there. So do we go through Kansas City?
Tahlequah's the only other worst place.
Yeah, so it's a hard drive. It's not an easy drive. It's a lot of 2-lane roads, and it makes it tough on your kids, and you got to get out a few times and stop. But where do you really stop at? I mean, there's not too many places. So we just got to prepare ourselves and get ourselves ready, and then you got to sit around the hotel all day long waiting for the game to start, which I hate that as well. But we try to keep them busy with meetings and things like that, and a few walkthroughs here. So it's going to be a trip, and it's going to be but our kids it's a business trip, and that's why we tell them all the time. This is business, and that's the only reason we're going there is to win a ball game. So prepare yourselves and get yourselves ready.
How do you handle longer trips like that? I mean, do you practice before you leave and do it all at once? Do you break it up, have practice on the way? How do you go about that usually?
We'll start here early in the morning with meetings. We'll start meetings at I think 7:45 on Friday morning, and then practice, and then get on the road after that. We'll get them lunch and then hit the road probably 11:30. Get to Joplin around 5:30, 6 o'clock, and then that evening we'll have meetings as well, and a team meeting just to kind of keep them focused on what we're doing, and bed check at 10 and lights out at 11. So we're not going to change anything that we do that we normally do traveling, but we just got to leave a little bit earlier.
All right. Well, hopefully it is another good day for the Tigers and get that first road win this season. Your guys have done pretty well on the road and played well, and hopefully that'll be the case, and a chance to get that win number 3 going and build some momentum off of the win this Saturday night. Coach, as always, we appreciate your time. Have a great week of practice, and we will see you in Joplin Saturday night.
Sounds great, Gerard. Thank you.
There you go. That's head coach Chris Brown of the Fort Hays State Tigers. Again, it's a Saturday night kickoff, 6 o'clock, a little bit earlier, 6 o'clock kick with the Auto World pregame show at 5 on the Tiger Sports Network. Hey, we appreciate you joining us for Tiger Talk. Again, if you can catch the video replay on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. That airs at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. on Eagle Cable Channel 14 and 614. You can always watch the program online at HaysPost.com. Just hover over the Eagle TV icon, then on the top left, and click on Tiger Talk. And, of course, airs every Monday night at 6 on Tiger Radio Mix 103. We hope you can join us next Monday for the program at Old Chicago, and to come on out for Tiger Talk. Tiger Talk presented by Old Chicago Pizza and Tap Room, your craft beer authority. Old Chicago, north of the interstate at Hays. Serious craft brews, seriously good food. Tiger Talk also brought to you by these premier Tiger sponsors: the Hays Med Orthopedic Institute, Adams Brown, Barron and Ball, BTI, Valley Hope of Norton, The Taco Shop, Golden Belt Bank of Hays and Ellis, Horizon Appliance and Mattress, as well as Eagle Communications, and of course a big thank you once again to Old Chicago. Again, the Tigers in Joplin on Saturday night. Kickoff will be at 6 o'clock. We'll be on the air at 5 with the Auto World pregame show. Hope to see you at the stadium. If not, hope you can catch it here on the Tiger Sports Network. That's going to wrap up Tiger Talk for today. Hope you enjoyed us. We'll see you again next Monday right here on the Tiger Sports Network.
That was another legend on 99 KZ Country. And yes, before that, we had a brand new artist. Your home for today's stars and the legends. We play real country. I'm Teresa Trapp. Weather, news, sports, it's all here. We're on Facebook, and there is a listen live link at hayspost.com. Dial us in on your radio at 99.5 FM. KHAZ, Real Country. 99 KZ Country.